What is up guys, Zanif Tech here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be reviewing the best Caudabe accessories for my daily carry Apple items. This will include my iPhone 14 Pro Max, the AirTag on my keys, and then also my AirPods Pro 2nd generation. So let's get started with the Caudabe sheet case. This is my favorite case and go-to case anytime I get a new phone. I can tell you why. I've had it for the iPhone 13 Pro Max, and now I have it for the 14 Pro Max ever since it came out. I will never go back to any other case. So I had the leather case before by Apple year by year, but those cases don't age really well. So they start to get sticky, the backing gets kind of rubbed off based on when you're putting it on your pocket, and the leather does not look like it did when you first got it. Yeah, some people might say that it's supposed to look like that for a leather case, but that's not something that I like. I want the case to look good as well. I know it sounds kind of weird, but if I'm going to be putting this on my good looking phone, I don't want it to be bulky and not look good anymore. So this is where Kadabi comes in place with this minimal case, which also has a rugged kind of material, but is also minimalistic as well for the people that don't want those bulky cases. The biggest thing about this case, I'll tell you, is the material, because it's extremely grippy. So you don't have to worry about it being dropped and slipping out, and you don't have to worry about the actual grip when you're using it. Also, for people that like to put their pinky on their bottom, you don't have to worry about it scraping you either, because on the bottom, they did a really good job with the way the case feels. That's not something those cheap cases can say, because I've used some cheaper ones and it's kind of annoying. You know, it kind of scrapes your finger every time you're trying to use it with one hand. And the iPhone 14 Pro Max being a bigger phone, it's hard to hold it in one hand and also have that good grip. So this is something that they really thought this through and made this great case. The other thing I want to mention is the MagSafe charging compatibility. So some cases may say they're MagSafe compatible, but they don't have a MagSafe ring. So all that means is that the phone ring or the magnetics charging coils on the back are pretty much on the phone, not on the casing. So when you're putting this on a MagSafe accessory, you don't really have those magnets on the actual case. So the thickness of the case is losing that strain from the original magnets on the phone. So not in this case though, because it has the actual ring. So when you place it on a MagSafe charger, you have that strain to where you don't have to worry about it slipping off and ending up without a charge in the mornings. So do keep that in mind, that this has its own MagSafe ring built in, and it's also this thin. The other thing I want to point out is some cases are really flimsy on the sides. So when they're flimsy on the sides, they kind of move around. The phone does not look good when it's, used for quite a while, and it doesn't keep the phone sturdy in place. That's not the case here. The sides do not slip off when it's in your pocket, so you don't have to constantly push them back. That also is not the case here. So it really took me a long time to find a case that made me think that I will never go back to any of the Apple leather ones, because I used to be the big fan of those, but not anymore. I really enjoy it. I love the lip around so it doesn't touch the screen when it's placed face down, and also the little cutout for the speaker grill on the very top, which helps with not covering that grill for the new generation iPhones. And overall, the clickiness of the buttons for the volume rockers and the power button are great as well. You never have to worry about it not being able to be pressed. And then also the cutout is large enough on the mute toggle switch, so you don't have to worry about not being able to access that as well. So overall, this was my go-to case and still is my go-to case after all of the ones I have used. And now I start to look at other accessories from Caudabe, and this is where this video comes into play. So they make other accessories that match the Caudabe sheet. So if you're interested in other ones, let's keep going. You're wondering what else can they be making? Well, they have something cooler. This is the Tagclip from Caudabe, which is an accessory for your Apple AirTag. And this accessory encapsulates the AirTag and also gives you a keyring hole so that you can place this on your keys. So usually the Apple AirTag, of course, does not come with any accessories, so you have to buy something to be able to place it on the actual keys. But now with this case, your AirTag is protected, so if it fell off or you dropped it, nothing will happen to it. But also, it has a nice design to it because it matches the sheath perfectly. So if you really like the material and rubberness, of the Caudabe sheet, then this is definitely the accessory for you for your AirTag. One thing I do want to mention is that on the front you have a Kadabi logo, but then you can't see your engraving if you got those AirTags engraved. For me personally, I didn't get them engraved, I just bought them from the store, so that doesn't really bother me, but for some people that does bother them, you might have to look elsewhere for a case that has the two sides open. However, one thing that does bother me about this case is the back part. So you see, you pretty much have the Apple logo all scuffed up because it's rubbing against my keys, and it does not look well. It looks just like those old iPods with that metal backing on the back where the Apple logo is barely showing anymore. So that is one of the fallbacks of this casing. However, you may get like a dbrand skin on it and you won't really tell anymore that it's like that. However, for me, it doesn't really bother me. It's just an AirTag. I'm using it for its actual functionality and not how it looks anymore. And they're relatively cheap to replace if you need to. But overall, the fact that it gives me that keyring hole and I can put on my keys, it looks good alongside my Caudabe sheet case, and it's made from Caudabe. I had to get one. As soon as I saw it, this was the way to go for my AirTag. Let's talk about the Caudabe Mezzo case. This is the newest addition to the sheet series. So you have the same material as the Caudabe sheet, but now on your AirPods Pro 2nd gens. This is a great case, and as soon as I saw that email come through from Caudabe, I had to get my hands on this. So now I have the Caudabe sheet on my phone, the AirTag, and then also the Mezzo case, and it's not coming off. I really like how it looks. The form factor is great. The cutouts for the lanyard hold is great as well. And the back also has a button with their logo for your pairing button if you ever need it. So they really thought this through. They have a nice little adhesive strip on the top to hold the actual top portion of the case on the AirPods, but then they also have the bottom portion which does not slip off. So it's like some cases they might kind of fall off really easily if dropped. Yeah, your AirPods probably fall out as well because nothing's holding them in place besides some magnets, but the case is great. I really like the fact that the cutouts are great, just like the sheet case, and you can access the lightning port on the bottom if you don't want to use MagSafe. So one thing they don't really mention is if it has MagSafe compatibility, and the reason why I think they don't mention is because it doesn't have any magnets, of course, but it has enough strength from the original magnets on the casing to hold it on the charger. If you have, for example, a vertical charger, let's say it's raised up, then it doesn't really hold the AirPods in place because there's no actual magnetic ring on the actual casing. But they are MagSafe compatible if you had like the MagSafe Duo or you had a flat laying MagSafe charger, then definitely you will not have any issues with this casing. But the biggest fact that I like them the most is the fact that it looks exactly like the sheet. So when I have them next to my phone on my desk, it just looks good. I mean, they copied everything over from the sheet and the tag clip for the AirTag. So if you put them all three together, then you can see that it has the black striping on the actual phone, it has it on the AirPods, and it also has it on the sides of the AirTag clip. So this is a great thing if you want everything to match, and the Mezzo case is the way to go. The fact that it's a nice looking case, it's sturdy, and it's not falling off your AirPods, I definitely recommend this to anybody that already enjoys previous Caudabe products and you want something for your AirPods as well. If you were wondering if the light on the front is accessible, you can see it perfectly fine when the casing is open and you have nothing to worry about. And I can say no bad things about this. I really enjoy this case. I did have a similar one from InCase on my old AirPods Pros, but that one, it kind of slipped around all the time on the actual AirPods. So I decided to take it off, and it was made out of this wool material, so it wasn't really great. But this one, it slides in and out easily in your pockets, just like the sheet case does. And the fact that everything matches was my go-to factor on honestly getting this case, and I definitely recommend it. So if you guys like this video, then definitely give me a thumbs up. Let me know how I did in the comment section if you have any questions or you want me to review any other products, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Zanif Tech is out.